Radio Rahim with Johnathon Banks, Madison Square Garden, a classic night of boxing, to be sure. Let's work through this fight. As many classic fights are, there's some ebb and flow, some sea changes, and in the beginning of the fight, it appeared like this might be just another Triple G knockout early, kind of what some people were expecting. And not that eventful a card. When you saw the first knockdown, did you think, we're headed for a short night?
No, not at all. I'm like, when I seen the first knockdown, I'm like, we still in for a long night. I told the guys that, look, relax, we in for a long night. Because I just knew it, man. This kid is like, he's one tough customer.
You did say at the final press conference that you saw a guy with a Gotti Ward shirt on. This fight was going to be that way. But people say a lot of things at final press conferences, trying to sell some tickets, hype the fight.
I don't need to sell no tickets. I'm not fighting. Seriously, like, I don't need to sell tickets, man. I just say, like, I adjust both guys and looking at the styles. I'm like, listen, when I seen that shirt, that's what the fight going to be like. And I just knew it. I kept telling G the whole camp that it was going to be like that. But I don't know.
But with that said, that's great for the fans. I had a hell of an exciting main event tonight. But I'm certain that the opposite is what you wanted for Triple G as an experience in a fight going forward with you in the corner. You don't want him in slugfest, right? You don't want him in a Gotti Ward type of fight. What went wrong tonight?
I mean, it's not that I don't want him in those type of fights. It's just that when he got those type of caliber of fighters or opponents in front of him, the adjustments you have to immediately make. You can't do the things. If you getting ready for a 100-yard dash, you can't run with guys that run in marathons because they always are gonna be at their pace. And by the time you warm up, these guys in 100-yard dash is finished. And that's the situation. Like, you got this young kid, Derevyanchenko. He wants to sprint, and when it's starting the fight off, I'm trying to get G to start the fight off fast, because when he fighting guys around that's older, they don't start as fast. He's fighting younger and younger competition. They starting faster, and I'm trying to get him to start faster, and that's the whole goal. Start faster, you build your own lead, you let your hands go, and you could dictate the pace.
At what point did you feel the fight took its first turn towards Derevyanchenko?
First round. Like, you seen the way he got up and reacted? I said, listen, man, I said, when he in the middle round, in the between rounds, I said, don't think for no reason this kid is about to give up. He's in a fight for his life. And I've been saying for the longest, when you got a fighter with nothing to lose and everything in the game, he's the most dangerous opponent you can face.
The type of style you've been talking about getting Triple G to perform at, the way Triple G was shadow boxing and appeared to be preparing to fight, I didn't see much evidence of that at all tonight. And if anything, it seemed like Derevyanchenko was the one that had more head movement, was more busy.
Well, he's the technician, so he's been like that for a while. He's been like that for a while, and Triple G's been like he has been for a while. So getting him to not so much change, but to start defending himself and slipping punches and letting his hands go more, it's difficult. You know, I don't doubt in myself that I can do it. It's just difficult.
Do you feel like when the fight got tough, when Derevyanchenko got up and wanted to have a war, that Triple G abandoned the game plan a little bit, or is it that Derevyanchenko forced him to fight this way?
I think these are type of fights Triple G like, for whatever reason. He like that you hit me, I hit you, because he want to please the crowd. Those are crowd pleasers. No matter what they say about him, they say he's the crowd pleaser. He wants to please the crowd. I don't care about pleasing the crowd. I care about my fighter winning and protecting him at all costs. And the less he get hit in the sport, the longer you can last. That's what I care about.
Well, he's in the hospital right now. We assume he's fine, but hopefully this is just, routine check after a war like this, precautionary measures. So I assume soon you guys are going to have a conversation. What do you say to Triple G after a night like this?
get some rest and call me in the morning. And call me when you get up to it.
Okay, well, when he calls you.
You don't say nothing tonight because the deed is already done. You know, you hope he rests up, heal up, and once y'all start back, actually he's better, he's fill up to it, y'all start having a conversation, you break down the fight. You tell him the do's and don'ts, that I told you so's and I told you nots. That's when you tell him, I don't believe there's ever a time in boxing where you sugarcoat anything. You just got to tell it like it is. And if you want to be like everybody in this division with titles are younger than him. That's the bottom line. And if you want to stay with these young boys, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Now, no one would fault him if he can get a rubber match with Canelo to take that fight. Obviously, that's a big money fight. There's a demand for that fight. But we know Derevyanchenko is going to demand a rematch or at least call for it. A lot of people feel like he won the fight tonight. First off, if you do get Canelo, which might be more possible just because the performance, he looked vulnerable tonight, what's the strategy there? Are you going to consistently try to implement this new plan, or do you have to deal with just like the way Triple G likes to fight and maybe curtail the game plan to that?
I'm not trying to take Triple G to do everything my way. I'm just trying to take what he already has and add some defense to it. And raise his offense output higher. That's all. Like, those are two things. You know, yes, I want him to have a rhythm to him. I want him to have a movement because that's helpful in any scenario. But the main thing is defense and a higher offense output. Those are the main two things that's damaging for him. You know, and anybody who know how to move know it. That's why I told him, Derevyanchenko, he's going to come forward because you're so willing to go backwards. Now, if he wasn't willing to go backwards, Derevyanchenko wouldn't have, he would have had more problems coming forward. But I kept every round to do. I've been telling you all camp, you're too willing to go backwards. It's not that he hurt, not that he's scared. He's just got adapted to that, adapted to doing that.
Now, you know when a guy changes camps, changes trainers, changes promoters, anything changes, something new, and doesn't have the kind of success that he's had in the past, or has a night like tonight that could have gone either way, maybe could have gone the other guy's way, they're going to look at the new trainer, they're going to look at the new promoter, they're going to look at everybody and blame everybody, and you're going to be first on that list as to what's wrong.
I'm raising my hand because I'm the one they go call on. I mean, what can you say? I mean, the bottom line, honestly, the public's gonna react to they're gonna react how they react, you know. But bottom line is the way the things we worked on and the things that we did in the gym. If we wouldn't have did them, he wouldn't at no point in the fight where he would have started letting his hands go. If we wouldn't have done those things, you know. So I wanted a better performance. I wanted more punches landed. I wanted more head movement. But what happened.
Do you sit back yourself now and think about how you can reach the guy if he's not doing what you want him to do or not doing what you train to do in the gym? Do you analyze how you can get the performance that you want out of your fighter?
Of course. It's something I have to figure out my flaw first before I can tell him about his. Got to figure it out. It's something that's not crossing over. And I got to figure out, number one, what's not crossing over and why it's not crossing over. So I have a lot of homework to do. You know, I put everything on me. It's my fault. I got to cross over. I got to get over to him that he needs to do this life or death situation. Either he needs to retire or he needs to do this and do it this way. You know, if he can't do it that way, I hate to see my guys taking all these punches. I don't like it. And I know they're better than what I'm seeing. So that's the bottom line. I got a lot of work to do. I take the blame for it. I just got to get to work.
We all got to get to work. This was a night of work for you. You came away with the titles, though. Let's not forget, you guys did walk away with the belts. A victory tonight, a unanimous decision of all things.
Emmanuel Stewart told me one thing. He said, Jonathan, at the end of the day, your biggest thing you want is to lead with the titles. Anything else after that, you correct later. But lead with the titles. So I'm leaving with the titles. You know, people go say what they want to say. But I'm gonna continue to work my butt off to get the performance output that I want.
Radio Rahim with Johnathon Banks, leaving with the title tonight. Can't wait to see you in that corner working the fight again. Thank you for the time. Radio Rahim with Johnathon Banks.